Namaskar, Engineer Suraj Singh from NCR Faridabad, Bharat, India, May 29th, 2020, talks about COVID, biodiversity, economics, and management contracts. Routine talk for interactive information and request all those who may watch now or in future may contact regarding any question or clarification without any hesitation. As far as subject is concerned, no other talks place. Another day of life. What happens after this, nobody knows. But life moves. That's okay. COVID-19 doing its work very well. No one can deny it. It's moving around world, and Montenegro, European nation, has announced that it has no case now. Well, it's okay, fine, but nobody knows because we don't know about COVID-19. Any country who can declare whatever they want. But we know one thing. COVID-19 SARS is spreading like unknown. It's not known, it's unknown, it's still unknown. Only precautionary measures we are taking, and that's not also true whether these are working or these are not working. It's also not clear. World is unaware of corona yet on this day. Nobody can with confirmation claim that this is known, this is its origin, this is its problem, and this is its solution. No one can say so. No one can say. It is still unknown, secret of nature. We may say whatever you want to say. And that's the only reason the world has changed its direction from fighting with corona to fighting with economy. When you have no solution to divert attention, this is politics of current time. If you're not sure how to solve some problem, forget that problem. Go to somewhere else and talk of that. So that people stop questioning other one. This is what's going on. No one is sure in the whole world about this problem, how to solve it. So they have started economy. So I forgot corona and talk of economy. Whole England is fighting, whole America is fighting, our Bharat is fighting, many other countries fighting, Europe is fighting. More than 200 countries are fighting with this, but nobody knows what's actually going on. So just to divert attention, think of economy, forget corona. That's what they have said. This is political formula. Not our country, everywhere it is. Means if you don't have answer to something, change your subject. They don't care now if people die, because they are seeing how every day people are dying. So no problem. 1,000 die daily, 2,000, doesn't matter. Let them die. It's routine now, routine. But economy is more for me. I want money, I want wealth. I can't stay without that. You have to live for one day. I need money. Let corona as go to hell. I don't mind about corona. I want my money. As if they will take money with them to their home. They will take money with them. What is happening to the world? Are we human beings? We just want to avoid problems. We just want to avoid problems for what? We do not know. Why do you want to avoid problems? By avoiding problem, can we get rid of problems? This is a problem. Unknown problem, secret problem, nobody knows about this. Only saying something. All prepositions and suppositions and assumptions have proved wrong, have proved futile. But they are opening economy. Economy is much more important. Forget diversity. What biodiversity? Let planet go to hell. Let sea go to hell. Let everything go to hell. I want money. Mindset is towards money, not towards survival. And that's why this disease has come. Because man has turned actually an animal. I am interested only in advancement of wealth. I'd least bother about something else. There are 8 billion people, no problem. If half a billion die, if 1 billion die, no problem. Doesn't matter. Money should be there. My GDP should be highest in the world. God does not actually want this. Yet, man cannot understand. It's out of understanding of humanity what life is about. For 98% people, life is only wealth. And for others, it is something else. When you think of money only, wealth only, you cannot do anything. Because wealth in itself is dead. Do you know that? Wealth in itself is dead if there is no thought behind that, how to use that wealth. Let your house be full of money. If you don't know what to do with that money, you don't know science and technology of that, your money is just a store and nothing else. That's what I'm saying. All political leaders of world have become very smart. They just want to avoid this problem. So nobody should question them and lead to open, lockdown, no more. Open it, enjoy it, go to school, go to college, go to job, go to this, go to that, and this and that. They just want their names only to flourish in public, all political leaders of world. They are not interested in their citizenry. No need. They may do some crime, they don't accept. Even in England, people do crime, they don't accept. Here in our country, they do crime, they don't accept. Human has become animal. We used to study in social sciences that man is a social animal. This was a sentence we used to read. Man or what human is a social animal. So it is now factually true that we are social animals. We do not respect humanity. Forget about respecting animals. So biodiversity got nothing here because you can kill anybody. When they can kill human, they can kill anybody. Yesterday, Supreme Court of our country declared something about in favor of these industrial workers who are going from one place to other place. Everybody using labor, or somebody is calling them migrant workers, somebody calling back. I don't know from where this migrant work has come here in this case. If you are working from UP, you are going to Bihar, or you are going to Bombay or working. How is migration? I can't understand. If it's migration, everybody is migrated one. Every journalist, every judge, every advocate, every leader, all are migrants then. Nobody is working in their own states. So they're not using migratory judge, they are using migratory advocate, migration workers only, migration laborers only. Who is working in their own states? No one is working in their own states. All are working here and there, sometime here, somebody. So for them, it's no migration. Only for these people who have no words to speak, who cannot go to Supreme Court on their own, who have no such potential. And fortunately, Supreme Court, this bench has taken suo moto of this. And thanks to Supreme Court, at least that Chief Justice could do nothing. That Chief Justice acted like a spoon to government, a spoon to body. At least this bench has done. I salute this Supreme Court bench. At least that Bob K did nothing, that acted as if he had no power, as an agent of government. But this bench did not act as agent of government. It has given a very good message to Modi and his bloody team. Do something for these people or get lost from here. You have to pay everything to them, free ticket and free food and everything. The railway has to them. This is called work of judiciary. Might be those people, those judges could not see all that, or those judges saw their struggle while Chief Justice closed his eyes and followed directions of Modi. This is clear. It's good that at least there's someone to do something about this migrant. Now they have to move free of ticket. Railway has to give them food all the way, and if they don't do, it means contempt of court. I don't understand what kind of judges do we have in SC who don't even care for these people. At least these three judges did something. Their conscience awoke and they thought there something is going on which is ridiculous, which is unbecoming, and we should interfere in that. And they did interfere in that. We should have been done 2 months back or 3 months back. At least too late, but many people have lost their lives. Many kids have lost their lives, and so much has happened that middle class cannot understand, political class cannot understand, because they're all Modi chanters, nothing else. They don't care for Bharat India, they care for Modi, 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 as if Modi is God of this country. Shame onto all those Modi bhakts who ignore these people of lowest class. Shame onto Modi and his ministerial team. Shame onto our government servants, and shame to railways, and shame to all chief ministers of this country. All are worth deserving abusive words. They both deserve this. I condemn all. Condemn all. These people have no humanity in them. They should be beaten actually. They should be beaten. They deserve beating. Atrocities must be caused against these people. They deserve that. I'll tell you for that. Because they condemn humanity, because these people are poor. These people do everything for you which you cannot do for you, and you treat them as if they are nothing. You go to temple for what? To worship. What's the use of worship? If you don't care for these people, care for these people more than worship it is. You go to temple, demand something from God. Whom should they go to? They are all busy all day. They have to work and make money to eat. You are living because of them. They are not living because of you. Remember, change your mindset, or Corona is there to teach you a lesson. Believe me, Corona is watching everybody. It is watching everybody. It takes time because it goes according to this process. But once it catches you, then you know what shall happen. England is still disciplined nation. They take action against people. Ours is slavery nation. We are still slave of someone, and that's the problem here. Slave of Modi, slave of BJP we are. Why I am slave and why you are slave? For what? We are not slaves of Modi. We are slave of Bharat India. I am slave of constitution of this country. I am slave of law of this country. I am not slave of any bloody full political party or political leader. Why should I be? I am with these workers, industrial workers who make this country. What Modi makes for this country? Nothing except talk, talk, talk. Interest rates have been reduced. 2.7%, 2.5% savings, and 5 point something in FDs. This is what Modi is doing. What he has done, what he has achieved for people of this country, except losses and losses and losses. Since he came to power, I have been lost. Every month I have been losing money, loss of interest. In Manmohan Singh time, I used to get 9.75%, 10% in some cases per annum on FDs, and now 5 point something. This is achievement of Modi. How can I survive? I am a senior citizen. I don't have any other income. How can I survive? I'm not getting any pension. Should I die because of Modi? My question to everybody is, Is this a country or a hell he has made? He doesn't understand anything. He is not an economist, he is not a scientist, he is not a teacher, he is nothing, but he is everything in doing bloody job wrong. He did Notbandi for nothing, he did GST for nothing, and he did this bloody hell lockdown for nothing. What did we achieve? 25 lakhs people are in quarantine, do you know that? 25 lakhs people are in quarantine currently. You don't know that. They say so many died. I am telling you, 10 times people have died because news is not coming in. This is rubbish Prime Minister, rubbish government. They had no right to stay for one moment in power, but they are saying they are celebrating victories. What victories? I don't know. He is going to conduct virtual rally. For what? I don't know. He is celebrating 6-year achievement. For what? I don't know. I don't know what he achieved in 6 years, except devastating economy of this country. Fools, people in this country just believe in what he says. Just 500 rupees in some account, and this is bribe. And 500, shame onto you, Modi. You can't give. And those people who are, they are having buildings, they are having cars, and they are having Janadhan accounts. Bloody hell, this is public of this country. Modi what's doing number 2 job. This is not going to poor people. Nothing went to these so-called workers, industrial workers. Nothing goes to them. They are charging bus ticket. They are charging train ticket. They are not giving any food during journey. What sort of management of government it is? Economy, economy, economy. All world is economy. In 3 months they have died. In 3 months they died. Their economy was only for 3 months. They have died. They want economy. We want economy. Only economy. This is our standard. Well, I have to criticize first my country. Then I have a right to criticize others. Because I know what my country is. I know what character of people is. I know what's our moral values. I know what depth government is rubbish and what depth government is good. I'm not praising any political party, but I am praising public because public is so silent. It doesn't speak anything if you beat them. Such passive public we have. I don't understand meaning of that. We really 1.3 billion people, or we are 1.3 lakh people? I don't know. 1.3 billion people country can never be like this. But I don't understand. Are we having blood or we are having waters in our bodies? We are not human beings. Not at all. We are like mosquitoes, bacteria only. Okay. Go back to biodiversity, and you can say environment. Biodiversity, environment are all related. We want to have pure air, but we want to do nothing in that direction. We want to have pure air, we want to do nothing in that direction. We want to have clean water and river, we want to do nothing in that direction. We want to have everything automatic. As if God is my servant, he will do everything for me and for you, and we do nothing in that direction. They charge tax everywhere, Swachh Bharat tax, but there is no Swachhta, there is no cleaning. Go see all what's there. Tax, tax, and tax. That tax goes to wax and does nothing. Wax is melted, the tax money goes away. That tax money goes away into wax and wax is melted, and after where that money goes, nobody knows. I don't understand why. What this 550 and 250 MPs, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha respectively, have been doing all these years? What these 5,000 MLAs have been doing all these years? What is their contribution to the economy and what is their contribution to fight with COVID-19? Did you see some of them on road to help people? I don't find anything either. So they are liability on this nation. Prime Minister only talks on TV. It doesn't go to public. It doesn't talk to public. It doesn't give any answer. So Prime Minister is not doing its job. I say it's duty of Prime Minister to take questions of people and answer them, but he does not do that. So he's a failure, complete failure. Who cannot a Prime Minister who cannot answer to public is a coward Prime Minister. I can say he is a coward personality. In this situation also he's not responding to people. Only he says what I said and listen to, that's all. And he stops those who want to do something for nation. He stops them with full potential. This another negativity he is having. I have to do or nobody has to do, and that's it. Worst Prime Minister of this country, worst Prime Minister we ever had. He neither thinks for senior citizens nor he thinks for poor workers. He thinks for whom only he knows. He has written off 7-8 lakhs crores loans as NPAs that he can help there. He cannot catch hold of those industries and put them in jail. He cannot do that. So what sort of PM is he? Only you know. Modi Bhakts know. I don't understand that. You can answer, Modi Bhakts can answer, no one else can answer. They can criticize Nehru, they can criticize Gandhi, they can criticize everybody as if they were with them, they are working with them, they criticize like that. But they cannot explain what Modi has done. They cannot explain what is going on. We have to set our political system right back to it should be. No competent leader is available at this moment, not only here, but also all over the world. When they started lockdown, all countries started lockdown. And now they're opening, all are opening. What does it mean? So your lockdown was wrong or your opening is wrong, something is wrong. This means your lockdown failed, you did not get anything. So this was a wrong idea, whoever gave it. And now you're opening, this is wrong. Either this or that is wrong. You are so hungry, you cannot stay without money for 2-3 months. You are so hungry. The same economy of world is same, it has not changed. I don't know what you want to do with that. Wealth of world is same, it cannot change. There is fixed wealth. You cannot change quantity of wealth. Never ever you can change it because it is fixed one. Quantity of gold in the whole world is same, quantity of diamond in the whole world is same. Quantity of water in the whole world is same. Quantity of fertile area is same. That tell me where is any change. Volume of the sky is same. Volume of air is same. Diameter of earth is same. Depth of crust is same. Depth of mantle is same. Quantity of sea is same. Where wealth is changed, so you can change economy. It's mine, it's yours. I'm pulling from you, you pull from me. Wealth is same, it cannot change, you cannot change. You can only say my ownership has increased and his ownership has decreased. Only that you can say. But what about those you have spoiled? What about those you have spoiled here? Permanently. We have spoiled water bodies permanently. We have killed millions and millions of birds in air. We have killed billions of fishes in water. What's their fault? We have to talk of every aspect. You have to be genuine with that. If you like this tongue or you like this, you have to decide. If you want to be slave to tongue taste, or you want to be slave to your mind, or you want to be slave to your conscience, you have to decide yourself. Mind is dominating, or tongue is dominating, or conscience is dominating, or what is dominating in life. Everybody has one's approach. Somebody says, no, mind is less, don't spend mind, why to be in tension? Somebody says, I want to taste meat, I want to taste fish, I want to taste spices, I want to taste this and that. And that's what we are doing all over the world. We are doing that. I heard a news in a study regarding Lebanon. Lebanon is a small country, not very big country, it's North Africa. Beirut, you might have known. And They are all Christians and Muslims, and they used to take fishes and all types of non-veg products. They were used to it. Now they have no money. Most people don't have money. They have lost their economy. Economy is very bad here. The value has gone down. They don't have money. So what they are, they are taking the vegetables now. So it's very good. If we are taking vegetables and they feel, we are taking vegetables because we don't have fish money, we don't have meat money, we cannot take beef and we cannot take money. So why are you depressed? You are taking something better. It is cheap, of course, it is cheap, but this is better for health. I don't understand that because they are not used to take vegetables. What I am taking is related to environment. If you go on killing fish, if you go on killing birds, if you go on killing everyone, the environment is problem. Environment stability goes away. This is all part of diversity. This is all part of biodiversity. We are all members of biodiversity. We all enjoy this diversity. If one of them goes away, two of them go away, we feel that something has gone away. Equilibrium, stability, must. It's a must everywhere. Even if one part of body is broken, you don't feel happy. There's a defect in your body or pain in your body, you don't feel happy. You feel as something has gone. That's true. You feel something has gone. So you have to bring that back and assume that. So we have to think, we have to take into our consideration complete factors of biodiversity when we talk of. We have to consider economy also a part of biodiversity because when we take into isolation, it doesn't have a relation to biodiversity. But you don't forget, economy is not currency, it's wealth of nation, wealth of world. It's not currency. Currency is a unit of exchange, but real economy is wealth. Wealth, it's like air is wealth, sunlight is wealth, vegetation is wealth, crop is wealth, water is wealth, minerals are wealth, mountains are wealth, petroleum products are wealth. Whatever advantage human gets from earth, within, inside, or outside, or through aerospace, all constitute wealth. This can never change. Energy can never change. Yes, it can change its shape, its form, but its effect it cannot change. So GDP has got no meaning here. If I am taking my food, it's from where? From God. God has made a system for food. It is fertile land, fertilizer, it's water, it's sun, and water is in such a way that it can move in capillary action of soil. It gets impact of sun, and there is a system that generates crop which we eat, fruits of which we eat. It gives us everything on surface itself. We need not go into depth of sea to find food. Only those who get there who want fishes, who want something else. Otherwise, everything is available on surface itself. God has done that much favor to you. Don't worry about food at least. So food is also a part of diversity now. Because you are surviving this because of food. Food is essential. Clothes are essential. We are getting clothes also from surface. We don't go to 1 kilometer below sea to find clothes. No. So whatever is required, this is food we are getting on surface. So everything we are getting here because we are getting food. We have to explore earth for metals, for elements, for minerals, so that we can manufacture car, we can manufacture bus, we can manufacture flights, we can manufacture material. For that purpose, we go there. And then we say this is our economy. It's not your economy. It's earth. You are breaking earth day by day. Europe could not think last, can say in last decade, that what is their future. Now they understand what's their future. They understand that this plastic work is no use. It will not help them. So they are deciding increase life of plastic products. For example, mobile. Manufacture mobile that can work for 10 years rather than work for 2 or 3 years and throw it. So a situation has come that they are forced to think why to throw a mobile in 2 years or 3 years period. I think this is positive development. Not only for mobile, for everything, television, computer, fridge, washing machine, wherever this non-biodegradable products are used, they are changing their manufacturing durability, saying rather than for a life of 2 or 3 or 4 years, it should work for 10 years or 15 years. And people should be repair oriented. You must learn how to repair them. You must have spare parts. Don't dump at sea because we want to bring down plastic wastage to 50% in few years' time. This is their plan. At least they are thinking. They are making law. It's not thinking they are enacting, they are legislating on the whole world. You have to follow this system. Repair is a professional work now for them. It's not use and throw as you say, oh, you are in America, you are in England. Why to repair it? Repair costs same as new one, so buy new one. No, now you have to repair it because we do not want to collect plastic and pollute the whole earth. So this means somewhere directly or indirectly biodiversity is being considered into at least 50% they want to reduce good. It's not bad. This means you have to double life. Simple. You have to produce products at least to twice life as you do it now. If you can do that, our people are still sleeping, though we are a country of repair oriented professionals. We are good in repair service, but our thinking is limited. We don't think actually. We are not thinking society, we are sleeping society. It's not criticism, it's fact I'm telling you. Our society is sleeping one. Biodiversity is very important factor. Means maintenance of static equilibrium, dynamic equilibrium, life equilibrium, buoyancy equilibrium of Earth and its belongings. Whatever living being comes to Earth, whatever plantation come to Earth must be used properly and preserved. That preservation of living beings, creatures is very important from biodiversity viewpoint. And if we condemn them, we think that only human being is everyone, then there will be human being. There shall be no air, there shall be no water, there shall be no birds, there shall be no grass. You want to live in that environment. Fashion, style, status, all we have. Not by mind. We don't compare mind status, we compare car status. I have Mercedes or BMW. That is my status. My son is studying in US University. That is my status. My son is studying in UK. That is my status. Now you have seen status of whole world. If still you believe that status is higher there, then I don't think your mind is working. Everybody is same. God gave nothing special to someone. They assume they are special. That's all. Because it's their need who generate them to do something. There was no food, no fertilizers, nothing to do in England and in America because of cold weather. So there is little more just to survive. It is up to you. If nothing is available, you have to find something to eat. So it happens with everybody. We have all kinds of comfort in our country. So we had been sleeping all week. They are still better than us because they think for their country. England is no, means they are fighting for something at this moment also. Somebody broke law, SARS law, COVID law. They are disputing on them. We don't dispute on anything, whatever happens. We don't dispute anything. If our 25 crore people walk on road, if they don't have water to drink, if they die on railways, if they die in buses, nobody has got any seriousness about that. They don't even comment on that. They make fun of that. They make fun of that. That girl who traveled his father through cycle for 1200 meters. They are making fun of that. Oh, we will teach her motorcycling. We'll do this and that. These bloody idiots don't understand why did this travel in first instance. Because you did not provide any facility to her to move from one point to other point. She was under compulsion use cycling. It doesn't mean that she's a cyclist. And who are you to promote her when you did not give anything to her when she was hungry? This is what we, this is called teasing someone just to hide your defects, just to hide your inefficiency. You are covering it with something else because you cannot say we failed. You just say, oh, we will promote you. You are failure and you will promote someone. This is our stupid politics. Minister is speaking something, another minister is speaking something. This is our level of politics that we can use even bad time to our good time. And also see what we have done. We have extended this facility to her. We had given her opportunity. Now they will convert this risk to opportunity. This is their game. This is our character, political character. And people are silent. No problem. Fine. It was her fault. Why did she drive cycle? It was her fault that why did she come from her state to other state? So it's her father. She took it. That's it. It's not Modi's fault. It's not minister's fault. It's not road fault. It's not somebody else's fault. It is fault of that family whom she belonged to. This is our fault. You know, I think dogs can think better than what we think. Rats can think better than what we think. But we cannot think, even though we are well educated, we are professionals. I am surprised really to not to see engineers posting somewhere in favor of these industrial workers walking on roads. Engineer is exclusive person who utilizes such professionals, such traditional people, such mechanical or other civil workers, electrical workers, industrial workers, you can call them only engineers from generally electrical, mechanical, civil, and many other disciplines. Use them as industrial tools to work for them. But except one or two or three maximum. I did not find out the millions of engineers working in this country to talk of them. No, none. No. If these peoples are not available, if these peoples don't work for this country, engineers cannot work. So simple. Architects cannot work so simple because actually at end this community of workers only change all your designs into physical activities, into products or goods. But who thinks about that? My okay, why should I worry? I am an engineer, they are workers, they will do what I say. I am paying them or industry paying them. That pride is in your mind. That rubbish, that rubbish statement exists in your mind. I don't understand really my country. If you write something against PM, they think you are doing anti-national activity. I don't understand. PM is nation. Who is PM? PM is nothing. PM is not about public of this country. Public of this country is constitutional authority. Public of this country is above all. It's not PM. It's not president. It's public of this country who is everything. But I don't understand they call. If you talk against PM, you are anti-national. This means PM is Bharat, not Bharat. What stupid, what stupid thought we generated. And this generated by whom? By educated people of middle class. Their mind is full of slush. Minds full of slush of these people. I don't know. Are they human beings or they are stones? Well, America, superpower. Can you call it now superpower? American president, always hungry, is always hungry for arbitration. Appoint me arbitrator, I will solve your problem. Always hungry for that. This means you may be president of US or someone, no one is satisfied. Everybody wants to be world leader. Without knowing problems of world, you want world leadership. You want to buy Palestine in terms of money, you failed. Now Israel wants to loot Palestine. I will annex West Bank. Israel, a country, a tormenting country, a criminal nation, always beating Palestine, always beating Palestine, as if they are not human beings. They are rats, they are snakes, always beating their kids, their youth, their seniors, everybody without any crime. Can you call such countries civilized nation? They may be advanced in science, doesn't make a difference if you don't have humanity. You are not human. You want just to catch and loot properties of others. Just like America did, looted Iraq, it looted Libya, it looted wherever it goes, it loots that. That's basic property of Americans. Because they have money, they have power, they want to do everything with them. What they want to do, they want to do. Where is the biodiversity? Where is the economy? You want to loot others, rob others, and then say, I am rich. Certainly, COVID comes, certainly for those people. And still today, it's America where highest casualty there. And it's not stopped yet. And we are starting in that direction too. We are no behind US. Very soon we will find to occupy number one in world as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Okay, this was about biodiversity, this was about COVID, and this was about the economy. So this was general discussion. Now we come on to our daily specific talk of management. for me, which is very important, maybe not important for some people, but management or you can say organization. My management is saying this is organization because organization is real work. How to organize something at any point from means you have to do something in a professional way in whatever way you do. You be your owner, you be your contractor, you be your specialist, or you be consultant, or you be advisor, you be designer, whatever you be, in whatever profession, you must be reliable professional. Reliable, very important word. Though its English meaning may be whatever, its translation may be whatever, but this is very different word. If you analyze this word, you will find different meaning of this word. Reliable. And what is that meaning? I have discussed many times and use that. Good morning, Mr. Jonathan. Okay. There's someone else here. This word reliability. If you rely on someone, if you depend on someone, that someone should be strong enough to, to accept your force, accept your statement, to do something for you that you can do. So if you professionally analyze this word, reliability, which I mean to say, one should be reliable professional or professional support, which says that first of all, one's product or one service you provide should be safe. Safe it should be. It should not cause any problem to someone or in its service. And then it should be good service worth. It should serve its purpose for which it was intended, and it should work for a tenure, for a duration at least for which it was designed. It may be for 5 years, maybe for 10 years, maybe for 20 years, 50 years, whatever calculation, whatever vision was adopted in its total design that it should work for. So there are 3 points here. It should be safe, it should serve, and it should continuously serve without any hysteresis loss for that tenure or more than that tenure if it's done retrofitted or re-empowered. So you can say reliability equal to safety plus serviceability plus durability, which is reliability. If you can understand this point, reliability, it applies in every field, everywhere, from your home to your to everywhere, whichever you want to consider, you can consider. It may be in profession, it may be in business, it may be in your social dealings, it may be wherever, where you cannot sleep until you get solution. Analysis of anything is very important. If you analyze something, you can analyze only when you can understand problem. If you want to analyze any act, whatever act, first of why you are analyzing questions that you are analyzing, you analyze because you have some problem. That problem is known to you. That's why you are analyzing. But if your problem is misunderstood, analysis will be wrong. Therefore, your problem should be right and your analysis should be right. And if you understand that, you analyze everything of that, every criteria of that. Once you analyze what problem is, how many problems are there, and you can then think of what solution I should provide to that. And if you are able to find solution for whatever questions are raised, the queries automatically are raised, you will find answer to them in form of solution. You may say, yes, I have done it. You may get one answer. You may also get two answers as option. You may get three answers. You may get four answers. It depends on what degree of intensity, what degree of feedback you have provided to that query. Then you may have comparison of those solutions, which one is best for you, which one is more suitable for you, and that you apply. Of course, wisdom is required here. You cannot blindly apply that. Is it worth your application or it's just idealistic? That point is also a must. Idealistic is not a proposition. Idealism doesn't work in practice. It should be performable. You should think, where is performance factor? If your solution is strong enough, if it speaks for performance, it says, no, I can perform, or you try that. That's your answer. Simple. Something performable is solution. And something very strong but cannot perform, so that is not worth solution. That's what I say. Life is not that difficult as we made it. Purpose of life is use of mind and use of resources. Education gives you a feedback. It strengthens your back. It provides information to you to understand that information and use it properly. That is purpose of education. And education doesn't mean university education. It means education at every level, in all walks of life. If you are in office, or you are in field, or you are at home, you are freelance, or whatever you are. Application of your mind on that information which you have, or generate more information from whatever source you use this information, and tool there is your mind, which analyze this and get you an answer. So only purpose of education is develop your brain, your mind, your capacity to think and do. And once you can think, then you are a master of your own. You are your own teacher. That's called self-teaching status, self-teacher. And once you start self-teaching, you need only information, you need only sources or resources, and you can grab all, you can take all into your mind and use it. Mind never stops for you if it is yours. It always keeps on working, even you are in sleep. You are dreaming something, it doesn't mean your mind is sleeping. Mind is still at work. It is at work. It's giving you information all time. Mind is very powerful instrument. It can be used, and same mind has given you destructive power, nuclear bomb, hydrogen bomb, thoughts to kill others, thoughts to damage something, and same mind gives you peaceful life, respect others, respect all beings, don't think bad for others, think good for this planet, think good for universe. Same mind gives you that property also. Means mind got both answers for you. Now it's up to you which one you accept. It shall help you destruct also. It shall help you construct also. Both. Because it only works, it only thinks. If you want it to think in construction, it shall think in construction. Or it shall think in destruction. That's up to you. But remember, fire cannot be stored. Fire can be extinguished but cannot be measured in terms of volume. Fire can be measured in terms of temperature, in terms of wavelength. Fire cannot be made a property. Fire is such a material which cannot be stored, cannot be used in future. Yes, you cannot control it because it does not know anybody. Wherever it goes, it burns that one comes in its contact. That per se, destruction means fire. If you destruct something, you think to destruct, mind shall help you, of course. It won't say no. Yes, it may give you alert also, but alert is also your option. It's not option. So mind is fire, as mind is water. Mind is solid and mind is everything. It's up to you how you want to make use of that. That is where it applies in profession. It applies in business. It applies in education. It applies in all spheres of life. Why somebody commits suicide? Because that person's mind says at that time, kill yourself. It doesn't go beyond that. Uh, Mind is that powerful. It allows you struggle for years to get something. People struggle. So if you spoil your mind or you spoil mind of others, both shall be unbenefited. If you help someone to spoil his mind, you are also spoiling your mind. Mind is power of God. Mind is power of God. And if you use mind optimally, I'm not saying use it so much. Just make optimum use of your mind. You can be successful everywhere. And success doesn't mean you get lottery. It means that you start from zero, you go to one, that is success number one, and then you go to number two, that is success number two. Like that, you jump all points, and at end you reach end of that point, which were points you have, and that is called successful chain. There's no single success in life. Success lies in chain, that you have developed a chain of successful activities. So ultimately, you get some milestone, and that milestone is called destination or intermediate destiny to get a final destiny. And that's called success. Success is nothing, there's no definition of success in life. It's up to your ambition, it's up to your destiny, what you have fixed in your life, and that may be a success for you, or that may not be a success for someone else. You define, you decide I'll do PhD, okay, you have done PhD. Success for you, that's all. It doesn't give you anything except mind development, but you have to use that. Success for passing, that is, but success for working is not same as success for passing. Because success for passing is supported by someone. It's not exclusively yours. There's a guide, there's a supporter, there's everything, and your resources, you do according to that. So you are trained to some level. But when you go to field, you do something, you are spending money of others, you are using resources. It's costing everybody. And if you do not have success, this means you are not able to perform. So performance is there. Performance itself, it says perform. Whatever form is there on all elevations, all plans and sections, that must be seen working. That's performance. When we say performance, this means a kind of stage where you to deliver something. Everybody performs in life. Everyone. Some perform in vegetable selling, some perform in restaurant, some perform in flight operation, some perform in facilities operation. Everybody performs there, and that performance is measurement of your value. Performance is done in every field. How much you can perform successfully, that is your value. Performance is not just you're bound to do something. First, you have to think how to do that. What's best way to do that? And that's momentarily. It doesn't take many months to think for that. If as much as you are senior are, As much as senior you are, as much as performer you are, it will take momentarily, many minutes only, or sometimes a couple of days to chart out your plan based on your knowledge, based on your conduct. How can you do best, and you can change that on its way. It doesn't make any harm. That plan is very reliable, and you perform that. So when we say performance, means somebody gives us something to perform. Someone gives us something to perform. Someone trusts us. Perform this for me. I will pay you this much. Right? Somebody is there who wants you something for. So it's something for that person who pays you, and you have to perform for that. You're not performing for yourself. You are being used to perform that person. So that is a kind of dealing. That person who pays you consideration and a person you are to do that, both are under some obligation, under some contract. You can say that contract is actually, maybe it is written or not written, but there is an understanding that both are in written or unwritten contract agreement. One has to do something to give you money or some source or some requirements, and you have to perform for what that person intends you to do for him. So one and other, two persons are here. A person who doesn't perform wants you to perform, and you are a performer performing for that person. This is a relation, it's called contracting relation. Contracting relation, this is simple way. Contract between two persons. It can be whatever kind of contract. It doesn't matter. First performance is required. You take a flight ticket, flight has to perform to take you from one place to other place. Once you are in flight, you are in a contract with flight company, airlines. That airline has to perform for you to take you from one destination to other destination. And once you are boarded in, performance starts. And when you are out, landed and out, discharged from flight, deboarded, contract finishes. That is contract management, contract performance. They perform you, the performance is successful when you land and come out of flight, or from bus, or from train, or from whatever responsibility you discharge with. That is performance. This point, if you understand, it applies everywhere. You ask some vendor or rickshawala or some others, I want to go to that distance. He says, I'll charge 50 rupees. You agree for that. So that is a contract. That vendor hawker shall take you from that level to that level and drop you. You have to pay him 50 rupees. This is contract. If that doesn't stop you there, his rickshaw is not working, is broken, then that contract is not over. This is what it is all about. It's so simple, so explanatory, but on large scale work, where from both ends, from employer, a person who pays money, who pays in lieu of performance, that is generally known as employer, because that part employs someone to perform something for that, in lieu of which money is paid. Consideration is called, consideration is paid. And party, other one, that generally is called contractor. Generally, both are contractor, both are contractor, but generally to whom we can say performer, you can say contractor, you can say, or delivery person, you can say, whatever you can say. That is part two. And when they sign together, when they agree together, based on whatever information they have, tender information or some other information or negotiations or whatsoever, all that is called agreement, contract agreement. These two parties entered into contract under these terms and conditions. That document, if it's written, is called contract document. And these two parties once sign contract or accept contract, they become employer and contractor. This is basics. I tried many times to explain. Maybe sometimes people understand, sometimes don't understand. And this such contract should be legally based, not illegally based. Legally means they should be they should be legally enforceable. Not just because you want to do something and law says no, this is illegal. And we can't say that. This is a contract. If it's legally enforceable, it's a contract. If it's legally not enforceable, it's not contract. If I ask someone, I am giving you 5 lakh rupees, 500,000 rupees, you go and kill this man, kill this person. If that person agrees and I pay him, he kills him. You think that is a contract? No, that's not a contract. This is not recognized by law, but you pay someone something to kill something. This is illegal. So this cannot be called a contract. This is anti-law. Anti-law cannot be called a contract. So both are illegal. Both can be arrested. Explanation is very important sometimes. If I explain very lengthy, very complicated terms using that, say it's boring. So it is also important sometimes to explain in very clear terms. There are so many explanations you can get. And in fact, every day you enter into contacts with many people, though that's not written contract, but you enter there. You are getting some service from shopkeeper, paying money, and that person delivers something. That's also a contract. Of course, small momentary contract, maybe half an hour contract, nothing more than that. But contract is contract. Service providing is a contract. Material delivery is a contract. Production is a contract. Factory working, that's also contract. You're giving orders to factory to work for you something, and that is also a contract. Supply contract, service contract, house construction contract, buildings construction contract, and many types of contract. Educational contract. Well, that cannot be that type of contract, but I say where performance is required, that type of contract. Because there are some items which can't be controlled under contract, so they are not contracts. But all others where you pay money and that can be done, that's already fine, that's a contract. Question is contract, we say it's very easy term contract. Contract means it should be quality contract. And what is quality contract? Quality, I say quality. If we have contract, we don't understand quality, neither employer understand nor this person performs. Understand that. Who will understand what I have to deliver? What I have to deliver to him? What standard I should give him? That's unknown. If that standard is unknown, what payment is making, on what basis payment is made, what is required out of that? Means if employer doesn't know what's required, if performer doesn't know what's required, there is no quality criteria behind that. Just do something and come back. No, that's not acceptable. You have to define something there. You have to specify something there. Even for small items, you have to define how it is to be done. If it's not defined in contract, it should be defined somewhere else. In specifications or in drawings or whatever documents, supporting documents you have to explain there so that other party understand what is required. Right? This all contents of contract means these all contents content are part of contract. Everything in contract must carry its composition, must carry its values, its standards, factual standards, not imaginary, not assumptive. Oh, I thought you will understand that. If someone says, I thought that you are a professional, you understand that. That is okay. Your point was okay. You thought that, but what? Which thought? How many thoughts? There can be 10 thoughts for one thing. If you are not clear about which thought you wanted, then that person, if it doesn't ask you and it is whatever lowest level of thought, and it's what you have done. So he has done, he has performed. Because you did not clarify what you wanted, but contract has been performed, and you may say this is not quality contract. You have every right to say. So quality definition cannot come on its own. Quality definition must describe itself. It must be clearly known what's going to be done. That's quality. I have seen many people who don't want to listen. I have seen many people who don't want to tell something to someone and just say, okay, do it. And there's an error. Why did you cause an error? Here, both are wrong. Neither you explained to him what he has to do, nor he sought explanation and agreed because he wanted money. So you want something you could not explain, and he did something which is wrong. Both have performed. Contract is performed. Why you fight? Some people cannot explain in advance. There are cases. You can't instruct clearly. You can't explain clearly. And why do you object if something is done? Okay, you have no explanation power. You write. If you can't write, let someone else write for you. And let that person to whom you're asking do this. That person should understand that writing. And if that person cannot understand that writing, that person should ask someone to read it for him, explain to him. This is very basic. You know contracts, I know, but these are structures of contract, fundamentals of contract. Just like we said these days, decision should be speaking, both judgment should be speaking. Speaking in a sense that it doesn't mean speak by words, by mouth, or by loudspeaker. No, that's not necessary. Speak means whatever you write in your proposition or your work or in performance, whatever you write should be crystal clear, well structured, coordinated, and it must communicate all meanings which were required under any kind of draft of contract. This point must be kept clear. Describe clearly what work has to go, and when there are major works, means major items, this is major explanations related to all items which are going to be included in those projects permanently. All those must be well defined, explained clearly in tables or in direct text. There may be some tables, there is information, or there may be some codification. Everything must be there. And in some cases, there are special items. There can be detailed statements how this item may be carried out, leaving final option to performer. This is what we expect. But you are not stopped here. You are not prohibited not to think further. You can do a better arrangement if you can. But this is our minimum standard. We won't accept standard false rules. You can raise a standard, that's a choice. want to deliver something to deliver happen. This I'm explaining to you because contract, what actually it is, should be very, very clear. It's not document that we are talking of, we are talking of performance. If a party who's performing for contractor, if that party is not clear what shall happen after this hour, after this hour. So contract has got a different meaning. When I talk about construction contract or management contract or design contract, you have to be very specific because these are all major prime activities which are very expensive, which involve lot of materials, lot of human resources. This cannot be taken just for granted, okay, no problem, if 2% error, you can't take it that way. When we talk of management contract, when we talk of performance of contract, automatically we are attracted to some contract forms or contract standards that are usually followed throughout world. Because construction not very specific for one country or not for other countries different. Almost engineering is same throughout world. And then we're talking of construction, we're talking of engineering certainly. Because without engineering construction cannot be done. If you have to involve with engineering construction, you have to involve with complete process of engineering, technology, design, its working and producing on site materials and doing all that's required to perform their job. You may do it yourself if you have that resource in your company, or you may do it through some contracting partner. There can be subcontracting, there can be further subcontracting. Depends on what you are. There are chances that you are a main contractor, means you have taken job from main party and you are contractor on that form. That party's employer, you are a contractor. But you are not that small, you are big, while your contract is having many disciplines and you are expert not in all but in few. Cost wise you are 70% safe, 60% safe, you are responsible for that. You can do yourself by your own people, but there may be cases that those other 75% or 25% ratio or 30% ratio, whatever is left, or whatever is left after your discipline is done, you don't know others. You have to find people who know that and you involve them in your work. That's called subcontracting. So those parties who will work for you on that contract in capacity for specialist contractor, or you can say services contractor, those would be designated as subcontractors, of course with permission of employer. So main contractor you are and subcontractor they are, and then maybe vendors there are, suppliers there are, and all types of people there are who shall come to you and you will explain to them what's to be done, what's going on. If you can do that, If you can do that, means you can hire those subcontractors to work in specialty, and those people must be very competent in such liability, and they can help you push your job, and you can say, fine, it's okay that I'm hiring you, and those must be professionals as well, not exactly your profession, they too are professional engineers in electrical, professional engineers in mechanical, professional engineers in swimming pool, landscape, or whatever else. They're also equally qualified working through you as a subcontractor. But work is same whether you do or they do. Then because they are professionals, experts in the field, they will do that job professionally, meeting all requirements. And if you do, you will make many mistakes. That is actually core of problem. Now, because I'm talking of contracts, I have to go back to standard form of contracts. There were before also many forms. I used to on Qatar. I used to do this general conditions of contract, which was usually same as FIDIC. It was in 1980s when I was there. So general conditions of Qatar, general kinds of contract. We worked on that, but when I saw later on, this was similar to what was designed in FIDIC. And now also FIDIC is there, updated one of course. And this FIDIC, which is, you know, this is actually FIDIC is actually a device. It's a device designer of contract forms. It's like ISO 9001 designs for quality system. FIDIC designs contracts for professional system. Means they don't force anybody, they just devise something as guide that you can use this condition in this scenario, and this condition in this scenario, and this condition in this scenario. It depends upon you how you want to do. There are set conditions, and they usually debate on them time to time, make changes if so required. They are our support if you follow them, or if you think no, this is not exclusively for us, and we can amend some conditions on that and customize to our need. That's called particular condition or separate conditions. Means it's up to us whether we use this document or we just make another document for us. We have to use that and we not for this. Well, there was another contract also that was new engineers contract, which was before it was Institution of Civil Engineers contract, now it's called NEC, new engineers contract. So similarly, there was a contract system in RIB, this area architects, where architects dominant, but in these conditions, where engineer is dominant. It depends. It doesn't make a difference to me if that means engineer or architect as far as context. Engineer does not mean civil engineer here. Be clear. Engineer is a verb here. This means someone who is administrating this contract is engineer. By qualification, one can be civil engineer, one can be architect, one can be mechanical engineer, one can be whatever, depending on what major part of that is. The major part of civil is civil engineer, if major part is architecture engineer, or if major part is machines, it can be mechanical engineer, it depends on how it was. But engineer means engineer in terms of designation. It's not civil engineer. That's why I'm trying to clarify. FIDIC, when I say FIDIC, I showed to you many times this FIDIC conditions of contract. I have shown you this many times and you know about that. Um, if you go through this file is available on this video text. If you go through that, you will find many URLs written on that page. In first itself is written that it's about FIDIC, in second is safety. Both are there, so you are concerned with FIDIC now. Many past talks I made also written there, as well as how to download this file from script.com. I kept many files on the script, and therefrom you can see download this. I'm not going to show again and again in time because it doesn't mean anything. Now this is a 2017 revision of physics, and in a general condition, its general condition at 5 o'clock. Okay, no problem. It's called General Conditions Guidance for Preparation and of Particular Conditions and Annex Form of Securities. I don't know why people are crazy to call me for nothing. Guidance for preparation of particular conditions and annexes and the forms of securities, forms of letter of tender, letter of acceptance, contract agreement, and dispute adjudication avoidance agreement. In this, there are clauses 1 to 21 in general conditions. Clause 1 to 20 are related to this contract, and 21 is related to disputes, that's arbitration mechanism. And then there's appendix with the general conditions of disputes avoidance agreement and annex DAB procedural rules, and there's index of subclauses 124 page. Now in this contents there are introductory guidance notes and particular conditions, that is part A, contract data, and particular conditions, part B, special provisions. Now notes on preparation of tender documents and notes on preparation of special provisions, and then clauses. Then there is advisory notes to users of credit contracts where their project is to include building information modeling system (BIS). Then annexes forms of securities. Now, now there are certain forms of letter of tender, letter of acceptance, contract agreement, and dispute adjudication avoidance agreement, and letter of tender, then letter of acceptance, contract agreement, dispute avoidance adjudication agreements. Now I will jump directly to contents now because unnecessarily going through so meaning and browsing to context of this. Because what I have done so far, you be clear about that. You have done something, you have not done something, that's it. If you have done something, you should know what you have done. And we have done a lot till now as far as content is concerned. That's not complete. I'll now speak what we have done so far and then what we have left with. That's also important. So far we have done general conditions, that is general provisions. Definitions we have done in this general provisions, we have done definitions, interpretation, notices and other communications, law and language, priority of documents, contract agreement, assignment, care and supply of documents, delayed drawings and instructions, employers' use of contractors' documents, contractors' use of employers' documents, confidentiality, compliance with laws, joint and several liabilities, limitation of liability, contract termination, and in 2, that's clause 2, it's employer We have done right of access to site, assistance, employers, personal and other contractors, employers' financial arrangements, site data and items of reference, employers' supplied materials and employers' equipment. Then in clause 3, that's engineer, we've done engineer, engineer's duties and authority, engineer's representative, delegation by engineer, engineer's instructions, replacement of engineer, agreement or determination, meetings, and contractor 4, that is clause 4, contractor's general obligations, performance and security, contractor's representative, contractor's documents, training, cooperation, setting out, health and safety obligations, quality management and compliance verification systems, use of site data, sufficiency of accepted contract amount, unforeseeable physical conditions, rights of way and facilities, avoidance of interference, access routes, transport of goods, contractors' equipment, protection of environment, temporary utilities, progress reports, and securities of site, contractors' operations on site, archaeological and geological findings, and then subcontractors, that's clause 5, subcontractors, nominated subcontractors, then 6 is clause 6, staff and labor. It says, we say staff and labor, that is engagement of staff and labor, engagement of staff and labor, rates of wages and conditions of labor, recruitment of persons, labor laws, working hours, facilities for staff and labor, health and safety of personnel, contractor superintendents, contractors' personnel, contractors' records, and disorderly conduct, key personnel. Then clause 7, plant, materials and workmanship, manner of execution, samples, inspection, testing by contractor, defects and rejection, remedial work, ownership of plant and materials, royalties. Then clause 8 is commencement, delays and suspension. Commencement, delays and suspension. Hmm. Commencement of works, time for completion, program, advance warning, extension of time for completion, and delays caused by authorities, rate of progress and delay damages, employer suspension, consequences of employer suspension, payment for plant and materials after employer suspension and prolonged suspension, resumption of work. Sorry. In this, so sorry, this was resumption of podcast. Then tests on completion. This number nine, clause number nine. Contractors' obligations, delayed tests, retesting, failure to pass tests on completion. Employers taking over, that's number 10, clause number 10. Taking over of works and sections, taking over parts, interference with tests on completion, surfaces requiring reinstatement. Defects after taking over, that's number 11, clause 11. Completion of outstanding works and remedying defects. 11.2, that's 11.2, cost of remedying defects. 11.3, okay, extension of defects notification period and failure to remedy defects. Remedying of defective work of site. Further tests after remedying defects. Right of access after taking over. Contractor to search and performance certificate. Unfulfilled obligations and clearance of site. Then there is clause 12, measurements and valuation. Measurements and valuation. Works to be measured, method of measurement, valuation of works. Omissions. Then there is 13, clause 13, variations and adjustments. It says right to vary, value engineering, variation procedure, provisional sums, and day work, adjustments for changes in loss, adjustments for changes in cost. And 14, contract price and payment. Contract price, advance payment, application for interim payment, schedule of payments, and plant and materials intended for works. Issue of IPC, payment, delayed payment, release of retention money, statement at completion, final statement, discharge, issue of EPC, cessation of employer's liability, currencies of payment, and then clause 15, that is termination by employer. Termination by employer, this is very, very critical. Termination by employer, and of course termination by contractor. Both conditions do exist. Just a minute, let me go for 1 minute. I can feed some. 1 minute, please. I'm just going to grow. Sorry, I had to feed something cross outside. Because of rain, I could not do at 3 o'clock. I did now. They were crying, so I went and well. So is there? Good morning, Sujugal Gupta. So we continue on this. Uh, yes, yesterday I said that termination by employer and suspension and termination by contractors. Let's now continue. Termination by employer is clause 15. This notice to contract. I'm sorry, notice to correct. This is in case of termination by employer, notice to correct. Termination for contractors default. Valuation after termination for contracts default. Payment after termination for contracts default. Termination for employer's convenience and evaluation after termination for employer's convenience. Payment and termination for employer's convenience. Now this termination issue is actually very complicated one, keeping in view what sort of contract they have. Termination by employer is not that complicated, otherwise it is. Now other clause is 16, that is suspension and termination by contractors. Is reverse case actually. People say employer can terminate only, some people think that way, but contractually both can terminate each other because this is a contract. Though contractor means second party, yet both are contractors. If you say we agreed on this contract, I am employer, you are contract, that's designation for contract, but we are on a contract. We both are bound by this contract. This is both have their rights, their obligations, their powers, and whatever duties, obligations, whatever is there, and considerations and duties, and omissions, whatever violations. It's kind of charter. Have you heard charter? It's a kind of charter agreed between two parties, two persons, to follow, to do something for someone and be paid for that. Defined rights for each and everybody. It's not defined in contract, it's defined somewhere else, but that reference is given. So it's a kind of charter. It's not slavery. It's job, it's duty, responsibility, obligation, binding, whatever terminology you can adopt according to General Clauses Act or your country's act whatsoever. So everything is defined, or if not defined, means explained or professionally done. You can say for good industrial practice or convention. This is that kind of requirement. So contract in itself is speaking contract should be, and that's the reason that FIDIC or NEA or some other forms of contracts. It's not necessary that you just follow this. It's no binding, no such thing. You can devise your own contract, but in a sequence of chain that you should not import something undue, or you should not miss something which is required. That's, you can say, drawing of contract. You can call it contract drawing. People may say, I'm not talking of drawing. This is also drawing. Draw, you may say design, you may say draw, you may say whatever you can say. But it's drawn. This contract can be drawn by your own, based on your specific requirement. Requirement is that both parties must accept. Must there be a binding by both parties on whatever you agree. And purpose of FIDIC is just to guide you. This is done this way. If you follow this, you may benefit. Or you can say, no, I don't follow these conditions, then no problem. You follow some other condition. You can extract, you can filter out that condition which is there in general form to replace by particular conditions. There's no bar to that. So this 16 is suspension and termination by contractors. These two, this is suspension by contractor, termination by contractor, contractor's obligations after termination, payment, and payment after termination by contractor. This will take up together 15 and 16. Again, because there's a lot of mix-up in that. I think there's a mix-up from writer of these conditions previously. There's no such confusion. I remember last one before this. Maybe somebody has come who has done his own. Well, we'll check, we'll screen out, or maybe I'm not understanding well. I'll re-understand this and discuss with you then. Then it is then, of course, 17, that's care of works and indemnities. That's about care of works and indemnities. That's responsibilities for care of works and liability for care of works. Intellectual and industrial property rights, indemnities by contractor, indemnities by employer, and shared indemnities. Then it's exceptional events. We discussed yesterday exceptional events. Now they are terming them exceptional events. Previous name was force majeure, exceptional events, and notice of an exceptional event, duty to minimize delay, consequences of an exceptional event, optional termination, release from performance under law. And after that is 19, that's insurance, general requirements, insurance to be provided by contractor. And then number 20, that is clause 20, employers and contractors claims, in which claims for payment, extension of time. And then finally is 21, disputes and arbitration, which is extra contractual because this cannot be a part of contract. Though it's embedded in same contract, but it's having an identity of different contract. This is constitution of DAAB, failure to appoint DAAB members, avoidance of disputes and obtaining DAAB's decision, amicable settlement, arbitration, failure to comply with DAAB's decision, no DAAB in place. And after that is general conditions of disputes, avoidance, and adjudication. So this is in general. So we have gone through all these. We have gone through all these, and we were talking yesterday about. I will not go to all other clauses again because it's just repetition. We all know that. I was on page yesterday. Let me go directly to that one. That is, I think it was clause 19 or some 18. Going further actually. No, it's not clause that. Okay, it is my page. Yes, employers and contractors claim. No, it's not that one. No, it is not insurance here. So we are we are on here. I remember active exceptional events. Yes, I will start here from. We did it yesterday, but again, no problem. So it was exceptional events. We talked of exceptional events. We talked of what actually these are, and we just understood that something, some event that is beyond control of some party or both parties is exceptional event, and in which means that party could not reasonably have provided against before entering into that contract. There was no proper way that one could anticipate this to happen, or having a license, this party could not reasonably have avoided or overcome, and it's not substantially attributable to other party as well. That is exceptional events which cannot be a part of contract. An exceptional event may comprise but is not limited to any of the following, which we did yesterday, and that's very clear. And it is events or circumstances provided that conditions 1 to 4 above are satisfied. This 1 to 4 is just now has said. So it can be war, hostility, whether war be declared or undeclared, invasion, act of foreign entities, enemies, and these rebellion, terrorism, revolution, insurrection, military or usurp power, or civil war. C is riot, commotion, or disorder by persons other than contractors. personnel and other employees of contractor and subcontractors in these strike or lockout, strike or lockout, not solely involving contractors' personnel and other employees of contractor and subcontractor, encountering munition of wars, explosive materials, ionizing radiation or contamination by radioactivity, acceptance may be attributable to contractors' use of such munitions, explosives, so radiation or radioactivity, or natural catastrophes such as earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity, hurricane or typhoon, and notice of notice of an exception event. Now, the procedure of police today, it's if parties will be prevented from forming of any obligations. If the party is or will be prevented from performing any obligations under contract due to an exceptional event, affected party in this clause, then affected party shall give a notice to other party of such an exceptional event and shall specify obligation, performance of which is or will be prevented, prevented obligation in this clause. Little hot. It's getting cold, so it's not enough. Sorry. So we have to provide a notice of 14 days in case of exceptional event. Notice shall be given 14 days after affected party become aware or should have become aware of exceptional events, and affected party shall then be excused performance of prevented obligations from dates such performance is prevented by exceptional event. Affected party shall be excused performance of prevented obligation only from the date on which this notice is received by other party. Now, thereafter, affected party shall be excused performance of prevented obligations for so long as such exceptional event prevents affected party from performing them other than performing of prevented obligations. Affected party shall not be excused performing of all other obligations under that contract. However, obligations of either party to make payments due to other party under contract shall not be excused by exception events. Currently, we can say there are so many events, particularly this COVID-19 events. This is also, of course, it's not it's exceptional event, particularly in case it's not very common, and everybody has been affected by this. So this can cover this one, though everybody knows it. Even if you don't notice, though it should be better if you notice, yet it is universal. It's all over world. And I think our state has already given 6 months for contractual period, which is also not genuine because event is still going, it's all moving. How can you decide that 6 months is a period? Means that's arbitrary decision. It's not logical. Means you should have waited for. You cannot say 6 months. You can extend for what? How can you how can you assess 6 months when event is still continuous? That's what I say sometimes. Sometimes you people do not care for such conditions. They just think themselves above law. But those parties which are affected, they have to think. They have to think for themselves. The way our government contracts are concerned, government has a right to do that. But just doing something without calculation does not mean anything. Of course, they would say revise later on, but there was no such hurry. They could say, yes, there is exceptional event, and we record it, and until this event is over, we will consider that. That was best, implication, that's best application of this condition. But because those people are not well advised, suggested by engineers or by legal experts, that's why I always say, don't depend upon legal experts. This can be 6 months, this can be 1 year, who knows? Means just giving a term, you keep blank. Keep blank. That's intelligent. Do not close your date because you have to reopen that date. What you do in that case? It's better keep dot and write till it continues, till it remains in force. Exceptional event. That is called professional work. Otherwise, this is blind work they have done. Anyway, that's not my point. I am just giving an example. There can be war, there can be earthquake, there can be something else which is unknown, or whatever, let's say. Now, 18.3 is a duty to minimize delay. That's important because this is in interest of both parties, employer and contractor, to minimize delay because delay minimization is cost minimization. Delay minimization is your time saving, and you can transfer your resources to somewhere else, some other location, and you can reduce your cost, and also you you may save your time and money. That's called duty to minimize delay, and it's for both parties, not for one party. Party one that has to pay must pay for what work has been done. I know that work has not been done, cannot be paid, but other maybe must be made. And in case some idling, I'm to say there may be some machines which are being rented, or there are some other items that are being spent on mandatorily, then it's duty of both parties to digest that because ultimately it's lost to both. If party wants to know this is not my problem, it's not digestible. This machine was brought for your project. It was for you. Either dedication or part, it was for you. Whether it was in my ownership or I rented this. So if I'm losing something on that because of exceptional circumstances or events, then I, you have a right to share that as well as I have. You have to do to share. You have to be digestible. So what say each party shall at times use all reasonable endeavors to minimize any delay in performance of contract as a result of exceptional event. The question becomes more complicated as it's happening now. You can say exceptional events are there, but there are not exceptional events. There are events, exceptional, unexceptional events. What's happening now? All industrial workers we can take, for example, have moved from those locations they were working to their homes. So this is another kind of event on exceptional events. It's even day when this exceptional event is finished, ends. But this super elevation and the super exceptional event continues. And this is neither fault of first party or second party. Yes, there is a fault of all parties that they did not retain them. That's really a part. They did not do that. Neither first party did nor second party did on all problems. There is a loss for both because of, I think, panic or, or what reason could be. These people were not taken care of, and these not very rich people. These are ordinary workers. They they get money weekly or monthly or daily and work for their jobs. If they are not taken care of, they are not given food, they are not given residences. Certainly, after all, they are human beings. They have expenses, they have families, they have liabilities. So they wait both, either to stay here or to go back. They wait, and in this way, they decided to leave place. This is what they did. This is their mind. They are responsible for their life. So they concluded that whether they stay here or they stay at home, staying at home and dying is better for them rather than dying here of hunger. So that community, that crores of our workers, our citizens, they decided and left that places. And they were not stopped by someone. I meant to say with understanding, not by force. I'm not talking forceful understanding. Neither state thought of them, nor party one thought of them, neither party two thought of them. If nobody cared for them, then who shall care for them? And we should not forget that these people are not very rich. They are not university educated, but they are work educated. What graduates cannot do, what postgraduates cannot do, these people can do. They are artisans, they are specialists, physical specialists. They can do a lot for you. They are our artisans. They are work experts. I don't call them workers only or mazdoors because I fancy mazdoor. I insult them. They are not mazdoors. They are technicians. They are artisans. They are craftsmen. They can do what your postgraduate cannot do. They can do what your doctors cannot do. They can do what engineers cannot do. They can make houses for you. They can make roads for you. They can make cities for you. They can work in factories and industries. Life moves because of them. Don't forget that. If they do not exist, you cannot do anything. Human value is known to only those who are heirs in humanity. Go to ask in Arab world what is value of human. Go to Libya and ask what's value of human. Human means that human who can serve you. They understand value of human. We don't understand value of human. That's what I say. We are half educated people. We think only university graduation is education, not cultured education. Think of if masons are not there. If they don't work, steel fixers do not work, welders do not work, all other craftsmen do not work, fitters do not work. Who shall work? These educated people who know nothing about anything, they will work? Never. These people work physically, these people work technically, these people work wherever in any way they are required. That is also a class. That is also a property. That's also a specialization to face encounters of physical attacks, physical forces. I've seen people taking cement bag on their heads, 50 kilogram bag of cement. You cannot even keep 15 kilogram on your head. So there is a difference. There's a difference and a lot of difference. We must get this point very clearly. Otherwise, otherwise we are not right thinking society. That's what I'm saying. It says each party shall at all times use all reasonable endeavors to minimize any delay in performance of contract as a result of exceptional event. Now this nobody thought of this clause. Each party shall all time, each party shall all times use all reasonable endeavors. Now what did they actually do? Nothing. To minimize any delay. They ran away. These contractors ran away. These employers ran away. Everybody ran away. So what actually did they do? Nothing. They did nothing to minimize time, to minimize losses. Each party shall at all times use all reasonable delays, endeavors to minimize any delay in performance of contract as a result of exceptional event. So this part is not done. This means this is not fault of these workers. This is fault of government. This is fault of these parties who are on contract, that they least bothered about their employees. If exceptional event has a continuity, if exceptional event has a continuing effect, affected party shall give further notice describing effect every 28 days after giving first notice under subclause 18 to notice of an exceptional event. Now they give on notice or don't give on notice, it doesn't make any difference because they don't have source, they don't have resource under their control to work for them. They are now resource void. These parties are void in resources. You can technically say that no resources under their controls. So notice or no notice got no meaning because both are defunct on contract. They themselves cannot do it. Those who were doing it, they have gone. There is no meaning of this minimization of delay. Affected party shall immediately give a notice to other party when affected party ceases to be affected by exceptional event. So there's no chance of that also. Now they come back or they don't come back, what is going to be? If they don't come back, what shall you do? Can you catch hold of them? If they don't want to come back, what power you have got with you to resolve that problem? If affected parties fail to do so, other party may give a notice to affected parties. So neither these conditions meet anywhere, stating that other party considers that affected party is performance is no longer prevented by exceptional events with reasons. So actually, in this case, both parties have failed in their function, in their contractual obligation. How to resolve this? Employer did not take responsibility. Contractor did not take responsibility, and they used their resources as if these resources owned by them. And when their time came that resources demanded something, they wanted their help, these persons stepped. This means both parties on the contract are at fault. You know, I understand psychology of construction workers or industrial workers. First of all, they are honest. Of course, everybody needs money. You cannot blame that. Of course, out of 100%, 2-3% maybe cheat. But these people have only one requirement: money. Do job, get money. And they don't charge much if you compare to something else, another country. Our nation is charging around 500, 600, and helper maybe 300 on contractor basis when they get daily jobs. Or fitters may be getting little more, mechanical maybe little more, like that, electricians may be getting something else out. They are not going to get that much money, they make bungalow for them. It's only survival, only survival. And not only this is duty of these contracting parties, this is also duty of state, duty of central government, and also duty of our judiciary. because central government, our state and judiciary all are responsible for them because they contribute to development of nation. You cannot simply say these are Mazdoors and if they want to go, what can I do? You had a duty to talk to them. Even if you could not anticipate in beginning what would happen, maybe you could not understand, you're not that much intelligent, no problem. But when this situation started, when the exceptional event started to happen, why you did not care about that? Either you or your representative could talk to them, could explain to them, we'll provide you everything, don't worry. We'll provide you shelter, we'll provide food for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or you can transfer some money to their accounts or give them cash in their account. Why could you not do that much? In this situation, Americans provided funds to their citizens. English people provided funds to their citizens. Most of GCC countries supported their citizens, residents. Only we Bharat, we people of Bharat, we do not care for that because we are sleeping a lot. If some injustice is done to someone, we keep silent. So if we do that, we have to suffer. If you torture them, I'm just explaining what's to happen, what can happen. If you torture them, this is torture. Of course, this is torture. If my people, if my workers, if my country's stamina, I call them potential. If these crores people walk on roads for hundreds and thousands of kilometers, you think it's human. Okay, they are not very well educated, they don't know anything. But they need money. What they demanded? Food and shelter. They were also staying somewhere before that. They could continue to stay there, but who would support them? It is duty of state, it's duty of those parties who hired them to support them. If it's hired by contractors, it's also hired by employer. So ultimately, employer is paying everybody. So if employer silently was silent, contractor was silent, they thought let them go away, or they had some other mind. In this moment, they didn't want to spend money, so they have to suffer. They must suffer. Means they used to pay salaries to them for work. They could not convince them, hold on, hold on, hold on. We will make your expenses. We will meet your expenses of food and shelter at least. But they locked down and went on. On whose shoulders you left these people? On whose shoulders? Government kept money in the state government, in the central government. They thought this is not their responsibility. It's neither government's responsibility nor its contractual responsibility. Whose responsibility is this? Courts did not understand this is their right to protect their livings. Court's duty to protect Constitution of India. Bharat. Court also failed. Government failed. States failed. And parties on contract failed. If you look into chain of this, who was successful? So what was left with those people except leave that place and go? No other option they had. And see their courage, their courage. They, without any scheme, without any plan, started walking. They started walking. Many have lost their lives. Many could not reach their home, and majority of them are walking on road. They did not drink water. If it was given by some charity, it took water and food. Otherwise, they kept on walking. Politicians played politics. All politicians played politics. Government thought, let them suffer. This is clear. If our government does not take care, this means they want them suffer. Court wanted them suffer. They wanted to use them when it's required, and after use they throw them like commodity. Really shameful. It's a really shameful for those authorities who did not care for them. They forgot that this community is responsible for development of this nation. And remember, this happened only in this country, in no other country. It's a unique example of our failure of system, legislative system, executive system, and judiciary. It's complete failure. If engineers can't think, can't analyze this, there is no one else to analyze that. Unfortunately, I did not find many engineers speak against this. Nobody is born. As if they are born, they are bought by government or they are bought by someone else. Don't forget, it's engineer who makes a country. It's engineer who changes society. Engineer is called agents of change. And if we engineer are just restricted to our salaries and to live for our parent like our companies, we don't think of our resources, we can't survive. Today, you see these people are same people who could do anything for you. They could meet your destination milestones. They could deliver projects in time by working day and night, round clock. But when they required your assistance, you were not with them. You were not with them. Shall they respect you? You may be engineer, you may be manager. They are your resources. If they work, you work. And if they don't work, you don't work. So simple. You did use them when you required. And when they were in problem, you escaped. What should I say to engineers then? I am also engineer. I am very angry with this development because if I don't have these people, I don't have support of these people, I cannot do anything I know. I take drawings with me, go to site and come back. That's all I can do. I can do nothing. Even if there is excavator on site, I can't excavate because people are not there. Surveyor is not there. These people are not there. My excavator becomes idle. We have to understand this. Why we praise someone for failure of someone, I don't understand it. Here is failure of all system. Here is failure of all system. And unfortunately, we can't speak in loud voice. Our engineering is very, very unsmart, I can say. Engineering community in our country is not smart. I saw one ad in Institution of Engineers paper that they were talking of PM fund and this and that. This is calamity, this is equity dynamics. We have to be such, we have to cooperate, we have to this is funds to the government. Nowhere they said about this 50% part of our nation. It was their duty to teach people, to teach society. They should have written something about these workers. But no, they were praising Prime Minister's speech. I need not praise Prime Minister's speech. It's not my job. Why should I praise someone's speech? Yes, if he's doing good, okay, it's his job. If I am doing good, it's my job. Everybody is paid. Why should I go behind Prime Minister's speech? You think a speech can solve problems? No. He has given hundreds of speeches. What's use of them? If speeches had solved problems, we would every day speak. It's action that is required. It's solid decision that's required. If my institution of engineers cannot understand this point, that they are institution of engineers because of these doctors, because engineers survive of them, then what's function of institution? It's very serious question. One should be clear in decisions. Don't praise anybody politically. I know whatever is happening is not correct. If these people don't come back, just think if this, our source, our resource, our bones, our extensions, injuring body parts, these are injured body parts. If they do not return, what development can you make? And moreover, your certain politicians are always busy in game plans. Suspend their rights, suspend their laws, suspend this and suspend that, and they cannot leave the state without permission. The politicians are so mean-minded that they do not consider these people as human beings. If they have to go, they have to take permission of the state. Why? Who are you? Does Constitution mandate it? Take your permission. Constitution says this is my country. This is Bharat, India. I belong to this. I can move in all portions of this country without any question. Who are you? If I go to job, it's my decision. It's not your decision. I came there because of my decision, not because of your decision. Who are you? Are you responsible for my life and death? I am responsible. If I joined that company, it was my choice. If they did not pay, I came back. Well, who are you to question me? You did not help me. You did not give me any facility. And you want to take my rights, which are above Constitution. You are becoming a person above Constitution. It is my Constitution. It is your Constitution. We are equal. You may be something, but as far as Constitution is concerned, I am citizen and you are citizen. You are not above that. This political post may stay with you tomorrow or may not stay with you, but my citizenship and your citizenship shall stay until I live, until I die. If you conduct like that with your citizens, you think this is right, you are just poking yourself for nothing, just for your political agenda, and political agenda got no meaning in politics. I am talking of contract, not political agenda. My concern is, if these people want to come back, they have to come back on their own conditions. They have to decide what salary they want. They have to decide what terms and conditions should be on contract. They have to decide company has to pay for their accommodation, pay for their food, pay for their transportation, means whatever conditions they think they should get. If they want to reinstate in their positions, they should have proper agreement. Proper agreement. You are making profit in industries. You don't want to pollute your people. Somebody is staying here in rented house. Somebody is staying there in rented house. Why should they stay in rented house? Make camp for them. You may be 1,000. You may be 1,000 workers, 500 workers, 2,000 workers. Make temporary camps for them near your industry. Messes for them. If they are family, arrange for their accommodation. This is your job. Company's job goes to employ them, their job. I know there are some conditions. If you go through, I think 1979 Act of Immigration of Workers, Industrial Workers, you will find all these conditions there. But here, who reads document? We are very miser in reading document. We don't want to read documents. This is our problem. We imagine everything, whatever was not given to them during this time, everything was required to be given to them according to 1979 Act. Read that act. But who bothers even? Rather giving them something, they stop everything. Who is Prime Minister? He had to follow this law. It's his duty to follow this law. It was minister's duty to follow this law. It was court's duty to follow this law. Otherwise, what is purpose of these institutions? If they cannot comply, they cannot understand law, they have to operate law. I can't expect these people, workers, to know this law. Law was there, but who bothers here? Who bothers here? They suspend laws. Means they can destroy something existing for you. This is their power. They can damage you if they have power. They can damage you. I don't want this type of politics in this country. It's better to think positive and give something to some people rather than I suspend this, I suspend that. Time will suspend you, those who want to suspend someone. Time shall suspend you. Don't be above law, don't be above nation, don't be above law. If you are using these people, you have to use them like humans. And those people who are getting benefit of those industries, those factories, those developers, they have to spend money on them. And you are getting better things. You're not doing any obligation on them. It's right to live, right to be accommodated, right to have food. You are someone saying, oh, we'll take 12 hours, 14 hours. Are you God? Okay, I don't want to work. What can you do? I am not interested in work. What shall we do? I'm not going to job. Finish. Am I no right? It's going to catch me and hold the neck and pull me to job. You can't. Why I'm explaining all this? Because it is happening. We may talk of FIDIC, we may talk of International Labour Organization, we may talk of anything. There's no meaning if you don't understand that. You are blaming workers, you are not blaming yourself. Oh, they have gone. We asked them to stay in. This childish statement. It's just another blame you are putting on them. Don't forget, they are our people. They are citizens of this country, they are not slaves. Only problem is they cannot give in writing, they cannot do something, still they are innocent, hardworking people. Can you walk 20 kilometers a day? I am asking everybody. Can you walk 30 kilometers a day? You cannot. Really very strange. I'm very unhappy with this. Being an engineer, I am unhappy with this, what they've done. Now we will go further and see what I'm talking about. I explained this because it's related to this clause. And now, I'm neither politician nor interested in politics, but fact should be spoken. Then it was exceptional event where we are lost already, and there's no meaning of notice or no notice, because even if you go notice, that's only formality. People are not back, and alternative people are not available. So you can hire them. They are not freely available, or you can hire them and put them on job. So this shall not only affect working of your site, you will not even get material people because mining people, crusher people, other material people, other factories, those people also have gone. So on an overall basis, this development is going to stop, period, and it shall impact our economy in short term as well as in long run. If they want to come back after a couple of months, they have a right to demand everything. They have a right to demand, right to salary, right to accommodation, right to food, because they have suffered. No problem. Let them suffer. Now, consequences of exceptional events. So sometimes explanation is also very important. Maybe you do not agree with me. That's not the priority requirement. Explanation must be understood. If I said something wrong in this regard, you can write to me. What is reason that you think it's wrong, and why don't you understand constitutional rights for these people, and why don't you understand the requirement of constitutional duties to be done by our cabinet as well as court of law. Now, consequences of an exceptional event, as I said, if contract is affected, contractor is affected party and suffers delays or incur costs by reason of exceptional event of which he gave a notice under subclause 18.2. Notice of an exceptional event, contractor shall be entitled, subject to subclause 22, claims for payment and or EOT to A EOT, or the EOT is extension of time, and B is if it is exceptional event of kind described in subparagraphs A to E of subclause 18.1, exceptional events, and in case of subparagraphs B to E of that subclause occurs in country, payment of such cost. Optional termination. Optional termination. Hmm. If execution of substantially all works in progress is prevented for a continuous period of 84 days, this further condition I discussed it yesterday. I repeat it because it's better if we repeat and we understand, or you may have some other idea in that to relate, because contractor cannot be taken from single line, it can be taken from many lines. If execution of substantially all works in progress is prevented for a continuous period of 84 days by reason of an exceptional event of which notice has been given under subclause 18.2. Notice of an exceptional event or for multiple periods which total more than 140 days due to same exceptional event, then either party may give to other party a notice of termination of contract. In this event, date of termination shall be date 7 days after notice is received by other party, and contractor shall proceed in accordance with subclause 16.3, contractor's obligations after termination. Hmm. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, hmm. Oh. voice, optional termination. Now, actually, this is very complicated clause here because 140 days in total or 84 days in continuation. 84 days means 12 weeks and 140 days in total. Well, you think that if this this migration, so-called migration, continues, can we move through this? It may be 140 days also in total. In this event, date of termination shall be 7 days after notice is received by other party, and contractor shall proceed in accordance with subclause 16(3). So, what does it mean? After date of termination, contractor shall, as soon as practicable, submit detailed supporting particulars as reasonably required by engineer or of value of works done, which shall include now what actually it is. Let us see. Amount payable for any work. Amount payable for any work carried out for which a price is stated in contract. So, mm, mm. Cost of plant and materials ordered for works which have been delivered to contractors or of which contractor is liable to accept delivery. This plant and materials shall become property of and be at risk of employer when paid for by employer. And contractor shall place same at employer's disposal. Cost of plant and materials ordered for works which have been delivered to contractors or of which contractor is liable to accept delivery. Plant and materials shall become property of owner or employer when paid for by employer. And contractors shall place the same at employer's disposal. Now, any other cost or liability which in circumstances was reasonably incurred by contractor in expectation of completing works. Cost of removal of temporary works and contractors' equipment from site and return of these items to contractors' place of business in con- contractors in contractors' country or to any other destination at no greater cost. Cost of repatriation of contractors' staff. It's clearly written here. Cost of repatriation of contractor staff and labor employed duly in connection with works at date of termination. Okay, now not to think much. Says cost of repatriation of contractors, staff, and even employed wholly in connection with works at date of termination. So this violated already. Then engineer shall then proceed under subclause 37 agreement of determination to agree or determine value of organ and for purpose of subcon clause 373 date of engineers receives contractor's particulars under subclause shall be date of commencement of time limits for agreement under subclause 373. Engineer shall issue a payment certificate under subclause 14(6), that is issue of IPC for amount so agreed or determined without need for contractor to submit a statement. Now title is 18(6), that is release from performance under law. Alright, now and if parties are, let me say, in addition to any other provision of this clause, क्यों यार टाइम खराब करते हो बिना बात फोन करते बिना मतलब फोन करते देना नहीं कुछ फालतू का टाइम खराब करते बिना मतलब गेट लॉस्ट यू ब्लडी फूल्स